Guys, we came down earlier on today and it was full of excitement to see what had been caught during the course of the night. You had a few last night, didn't you?
Yeah, we had a few. Louis, we were struggling when we first got here yesterday, but and we was putting the rods along and we had no luck there. So Louis started baiting a spot about 20 yards out and didn't seem to give us any bites. And then about quarter past five last night, he produced one, and then sort of like he went on from there. So he's moved the rods, and we moved the rods in shorter, and then we had sort of like probably from about 12 to about 4 in the morning just action. So yeah, it's been, you know, we've moved the rods in, Louis come up with the goods, and we're catching a few.
We got news that there's a fish that was stuck in the weed this morning after we'd come down and done the initial kind of weigh-in. Then the next bit of news we got through is, hang on, this could be an original. What happened? Talk us through the exact.
Louis on the phone to his mum. She was just asking how last night had gone, and he was just saying we just had a few fish, and then the right hand rod of the second pair shot off, and again some 30 yards out, and it just took a whole load of line. You couldn't stop it, and I thought, well, yeah. But some of the small fish have been taking quite a bit of line, quite bullish fish. But you could just feel this was a sort of like a lump, and then it got to probably about 45-50 yards out, and it just obviously it waded through a coat hanger, through a load of weed, and then that was it, just dead, nothing. So applied pressure, and Louis rung up and got asked for the boat to be brought. I felt a bit of a ping, and I thought sort of like I'd lost it, but I think what had happened was the line had got where he'd buried himself in the weed. I think the line had got caught around the back of its dorsal. Right. And then what had happened then, because they'd done that and I applied a bit more pressure, it almost pirouetted his tail up in the air. Yeah. And then above the weed I see this beautiful golden tail a bit appear, and thought, well, that looks like one of the originals, or it looks like a big common, so obviously. But didn't know whether then to sort of like let the clutch go a bit and or just keep sort of like putting the pressure on. But put the pressure on, the boat started coming in, but all of a sudden I felt something kick and she pulled up through the weed. So I mean, we're using sort of like a very, very strong line. It's Nash line, it's 18-pound line, but it's very, very strong, and I believe in when you're fishing sort of like very weedy waters and you want to get them in, yeah, it's got to be strong line, and I think sort of like basically it's the line that done the job. But yeah, then it come free, and I think because it had been fighting in the weed a lot, I think it was out of a lot of its power initially, so it literally then I was just dragging it towards the net. But as it got towards the net, it tried to make a last break for right. All I saw these huge, big backs, sort of like trying to get away from it. And what were you feeling like at the time? What was actually going through your mind? And yeah, nervous. You come to a place like this, you don't want to lose a fish like that. And I think when you've had a fish like that, I think you're more worried after the event of what could have happened. Yeah. I'll probably sit in the bivvy and I go, oh, this could have happened, and it could have pulled out the weed, and I never would have known. But good hook hold. We've been using some little chods, been absolutely fantastic. Good hook hold, and it just, for anybody out there playing a fish or getting a fish stuck in weed, just keep the pressure constant. I don't think you should back it off or do this, and just keep the pressure constant. So describe the feeling when you actually got the fish in, you saw that you'd actually got it, you got it in the net. When it hit the net, it realised it was caught then, and it tried to bulldoze his way out the front of the net, which was quite frightening. Right. The power of the fish, almost if the net wouldn't have been strong, it almost felt like it was going to go through it. So yeah. Exhilarating. I mean, Louis had No Name from here about 4 or 5 weeks ago. That was mad. So he's been exhilarated having one of the originals off here, or one of Scotty's, and then to come and have one of the originals off here like this. I mean, yeah, it's just a dream come true. And during a competition, of course. Yeah. Like we just said earlier, for the cameras, it's amazing, because usually sort of like when the cameras are rolling, something like that never happens. Right. One magic moment is usually the day the cameras are gone away. But no, absolutely ecstatic. So what would it mean winning this event today? Because you're in a good position in the competition at the moment. It's not over yet, of course, but if you were to win and then of course go to Lake Bolsena in Italy. Oh, it'd be fantastic. Yeah, it would be fantastic. Quite daunting, because obviously that's when you come up against the big boys. But I'd say it's fishing, and I think as long as you use your common sense and a bit of watercraft, anybody's capable, not just the big names. Well, one thing you have is you have the record for catching the first original Wraysbury in the World Carp Classic Shimano Dynamite's UK qualifier. So that is a record that will always stand. Well, that's an achievement. that's an achievement. But Yeah, we'll see. Like I said, I don't want to start talking about sort of like winning things because you get disappointed that way, and there's a long way to go. But I think we stand a good chance.
Yeah, well, good luck, guys, and look forward to catching up with you later on. Well done.
Thanks very much.
Well done for catching up.